Hello and welcome to today's cryptocurrency technical analysis, where we are going to be going through the Bitcoin chart and the big rise in price that we are getting today. I'm going to be going over a few reasons why we're seeing this rise, where our next resistance is to the upside, where this could potentially turn around, and some key supports to be aware of over the next few days of trading. So I hope that you really enjoy this video. Hopefully you can learn something from it. I'll give you a bit of education and a bit of levels to be aware of. And let's get straight into the charts. So first of all, I suppose the burning question that many people always want to know, I'm currently in no trade at the moment. So I'm not in a long or a short. For me, I am just simply in no trade. So have some time here to talk you through this because I'm not going to be jumping into anything right now. And that will hopefully make sense during the course of this video as to why I am in no trade at the moment. And so where do we sit right now on Bitcoin? I want to talk you through, before we go over what's happening right now, I want to give you some lessons here of what happened yesterday. So as you know, yesterday I was short on Bitcoin and we were looking for a drop. What happened in the end? Well, I'll show you exactly what happened really. We got our Fibonacci from the high down to the low, and you can see that we come up into your CC. So you kind of get this move up into the CC, a retracement from this, and you come down to a key support level around 40, you bottom out in $47,100. So almost basically $47,000 held you up as support in the end, and you start to get this squeeze overnight. I will show you just two posts from the group before we get into the analysis, just to see, you can start to get into my thought process, what I'm thinking, why I was able to recognize these levels. So this is a daily update that I give every Monday to Friday inside of the group for the contenders and the champions. I was giving in that update yesterday, the 2nd, the key support level of $47,000. And within my little notes section, obviously I was telling everybody that I am still in a short position, but I'm happy to open along or close a short if we reclaim VWAP. And also saying that if we break down from the current smaller range, which obviously we did a few hours later, I expect a test of the daily $48,000. So you can visualize this. Basically, I'm saying if we break down here, I'm expecting a test of our daily. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we obviously did get the move down below the daily in the end. And this is the really important key thing that I really need to emphasize, that we are taking profits on the short positions. So why is it important to take profits? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? That if you're shorting around here and you get a move to the downside and you do not take profits, well, then suddenly you're in a massive losing trade. Whereas if you short here and you take profits at the lows, for instance, put your stop loss back at entry, when price rises, obviously stops you out the rest of your position, you will have made money. So this is a really key thing in trading. You always have to remember to take profits at your key levels, because there's the potential of the reversal. 47,000 was literally a really big, important support level for myself anyway. And so when you come down to big support levels such as 47,000, you got to be locking in profits. And, I made it very clear to my team anyway that personally for me, this was a big take profit zone. And then what happened in the end? Well, let's go down onto a lower term time frame. You can see this very clearly. If we come down to a really low term time frame, 1 minute chart. And this is another thing you have to remember. I love to trade the 1 minute charts. So, yeah. But anyway, well, you can see on the 1 minute chart how we lost that daily. We backtested resistance, 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 resistance. But as soon as we break through, this is where the short squeeze started, isn't it? Okay, so you can see you had those areas of resistance for several hours. You finally break through. You get the back test of resistance into support. Well, and the rest is history, isn't it? We have just continued to short squeeze up all night, all night, all night. Continuous short squeeze as we're making a new high as we're speaking on the Bitcoin chart. So this, I think, you can learn from this piece of the video of what are the takeaway points here of how can you learn. Well, you've got to remember, as I'm saying here, like, nothing's going to go up or down forever, and you always have to be remembering to take profits. So this is the thing that happened down at these lows, which, I feel some people have got caught up on. In my opinion, I'm always going to say that shorting now, and this was posted at 5:30, so while we were below the daily, my exact words are, shorting now is always a bad trade. So why am I saying shorting now is always a bad trade? I'm obviously talking about swing trades now, not scalp trades, because there were many scalps to be had. But for swing trades, if you're shorting down here, what you have to remember is that you are opening shorts when everybody else is going to be taking profits or panic selling. So it's kind of like this meme here. He panic sold, pump it. But it is a meme, but it's also very true. So you have at these lows, people that are in their long positions up here, everything's, fine for them. You come back down below the daily and then they're panicking. So they don't have a plan. They don't know what they're doing and they're going to be panic selling. And really simply, you have to remember that the people that are shorting up here, in my opinion, are taking profits here. And how do you take profit on a short? You buy. So you have people that are interested in buying here. You have people that are taking profits on their shorts. And the only people that would be selling at this moment in time are the people that are panic selling, the people that don't have the plan, that weren't prepared, the people that are saying, oh, we're never going to go back down here, because they're so certain prices going up that when it goes down, well, they aren't prepared for the down. And, well, essentially they're panic selling because they weren't prepared for a move down. And I always say in trading, you've got to be prepared for both ways. Don't just always expect something to go straight up. Don't expect it to go straight down. You are always going to get these moves up, down. So it's all about time frame perspective as well. You have to remember we're on the 5-minute time frame here. So you can trade these pullbacks. You can trade the shorts. Obviously, if you come up to a higher term time frame, well, then obviously the higher the time frame that you go on, the more bullish Bitcoin looks. So obviously, if you start looking at it on the monthly chart, you're going to be saying, wow, I'm not interested at all in shorting. So time frame perspective is obviously very important. If you're a monthly term time frame trader, you might think to yourself, well, I have zero interest at all in shorting this. I don't want to short Bitcoin. Whereas if you're trading on the 5-minute chart, well, you can see that there are a lot of shorts to be had all the time, because you have to get in to your trade. You have to remember to take profits. And, time frame perspective is a very big, important thing to remember. So that's kind of what happened in my opinion in the end. We had our nice shorts yesterday. Everything was brilliant. We made our way down below the daily. This is obviously a take profit on the short. And in the end, the invalidation, we can say quite simply, really was as soon as we came back above that daily level. So as soon as we get back above the daily, I don't think there was any reason to be shorting any of this, because essentially we had seen the fake out. Remember yesterday how we were aware that we could see this fake out of the pattern where we get a move to the downside, trap the shorts and then move back up? That is essentially what we got. So as soon as you reclaim your daily level, fair enough if you were shorting here, your invalidation is what, like 0.5%? You lose 0.5% and then make money on the rise up. Hopefully you're just sat in like spot Bitcoin, for example. You're making money at the end of the day, and that's what you want to do. You want to get into the mindset of making money in trading. And there's actually a famous quote that you don't have to be right in trading to make money. Just have to get right. You just have to be on the right side of the market. For example, here we could be expecting a big drop to the downside. You get a drop to the downside, get stopped on the rest of the position. You made money on that trade even when you were technically incorrect. And so what do we have right now? Well, it's fairly obvious what we have right now. We can see you have to remember, this is a bit of a region. So this is a bit of a region. You don't want to see exact dollar, but we are at the region of our daily resistance around 151. Let's just say 51,200. So we're around this sort of daily resistance right now. You are seeing, selling pressure occur here. Naturally, it's a daily level. This region is going to attract sellers. So you have this region of daily resistance. Of course, if we break above this daily resistance, we can look towards our next level. And our next level, it's still the same I've been saying a while now, that if we break above this daily with conviction, so we don't want to see any swing failure patterns, don't want to see absorption, but if you break above that level with conviction, then your next level really is up at around $56,000. You have a few sub levels prior to this, but from a swing trader's perspective, if you break out of this big daily range, well, then your next level above you is around, if it is literally around $56,000, break above that, you're going to be going, I would have thought, to all-time highs again on the Bitcoin chart. So that's how I would approach this. Again, I am in no trade at the moment, so I'm not in a long or a short. I'm going to wait to see if we start to see absorption here or a push, and sort of reclaim this level. So I'm hesitant to jump straight into a short. I'll happily give this, an hour more to see how this progresses. I'm not in any rush to jump into anything here. So yeah, this is the way that I am going to approach it. I'm going to be staying on my toes, patient, I suppose, to wait to see how this volume and open interest reacts. Are we going to start to see absorption? We don't actually have any at the moment, so that's what I'm going to be waiting for. And if I start to see that, well, then I'll happily short it. I'll happily short it. Would have a clear invalidation. Alternatively, we don't get anything here. We make our way back above the daily. We reclaim it, and we're going to be keeping our eyes on the swing failure. Always, you just have to be aware of that. And if we start to reclaim that 53,000, then I feel you're going to look towards $56,000. This is going to give you quite a high target, but you can always look for one-to-ones. They generally do offer nice levels. So your one-to-one of this move is going to come in at 54,300. So then you have, I'd always be aware of where the one-to-ones are, and that is 54,300. So, I've given you quite a few levels to be aware of in terms of resistance to the upside. In terms of support now, well, one would say $50,000 should be support. Okay, $50,000, big psychological resistance. If you break resistance, one envisions that should act as support. Okay, there's no guarantee it does, but one would imagine that it does act as support. If it doesn't act as support, we'll look down towards the daily again, $48,000. It's as simple as that. It really is. You don't need to overcomplicate things. So that's the way that I'm approaching it right now. I'm not in any rush to take a trade. If we start to reject here, I will happily short. Of course, I would be. If we break through the level, then I'm aware of where the next levels of resistance are. I would say we are in the middle of a short squeeze, so this is where you want to take a little step of confirmation. You don't need to rush into shorts because otherwise you could get caught into short squeeze, I suppose. And yeah, that's really how I'm approaching it. So the summary of this video. Let's make it very simple and clear. My summary is, yesterday we had really, really, really nice short positions. The people that were literally trolling us saying Bitcoin's not going to retrace, well, we got the retrace. Majority of people would have been stopped out on this move. Okay, and then what happens at the lows? Well, you got to take profits on those shorts. If you don't take profits, then obviously you're going to get wrecked. If you're panic selling below those lows, just remember, you have to have the confidence to short at the highs. Not after a 5% move in price, because at that 5% drop, while everybody's panic selling, you other sorts of traders, let's just put it like that, are taking profits on their shorts, e.g. longs. So you got to remember that it's never a good idea in a bull market. We are in a bull market to panic sell. You have to have that confidence to short at your confluences, not at, essentially support of $47,000. Okay, and then in my perspective, I'm taking a little bit of caution here. I am more than happy to jump into the short. I'm just not in it as we speak, but I'm more than happy to short this region if we actually get any sort of sign of absorption, which we don't have at the moment, but obviously that can change. If we break through this level, I've given you the next levels of resistance. If we do reject from here, we start to break down, I feel you got really simply that $50,000. If you lose $50,000, well, I would be saying that's pretty bearish, because that psychological level, one would say, should hold you up. And if it doesn't, then bearish sign, in my opinion, to be just frank with you. So yeah, that really is my perspective on the market. That's how I'm approaching the trades. Obviously, no financial advice in this video. I've not been telling anybody what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. You got to take responsibility for your own trades, and I'm just going through, for educational entertainment reasons, these levels that I'm interested in, but I'm not telling you what to do with your money. So make sure you understand that legal disclaimer. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the analysis. Talked you through everything that I'm looking for here, and I hope that you have an absolutely brilliant, wonderful day. Thank you everybody so much, and have a good day. Cheers. Goodbye.